Yeah.
Sure.
And then obviously, remember, like I said before, I want you to expect the accounts okay, the fact that you did mention them to me, I'm happy. So just try to tell me which first account you think I must open here.
Okay, sorry, Sylvester, before we go on, I also want to just mention to you, when I look at my notes, I get a bit confused when they talk about the ledger and the cash book. I know the cash book is the book
Oh,
of
yes.
prime entry, and then the ledger is the book of secondary
Yeah.
entry, but I try and just look at it as one and the same, because then I get too confused if I try and look at it separately. So I'm just going to refer to it as a cash book or the bank account, and then the trust, but I won't say ledger. But I know what you want us to refer to it as.
Yeah, no, that's why I think for you guys, I think they use Cashbook the same as bank account. It's what they
Yes,
do with you guys. That's why even in the bank account, they just say cash book. You don't have to transfer to the bank account, because you can look
okay,
for the normal accounting. Usually, you have to go to the cash books. Thereafter, you transfer to
yes,
the bank account. But for you,
yes,
cash book, take it as your bank
bank
account. Meaning,
account.
we take cash book here as a general ledger in a way. So if they say general
Yes,
ledger, open trust cash book, or that's why I normally say
okay,
or bank.
okay. I understand now.
Yeah, so that's how they do it for you. So because for you, I think they are not very strict. That's why when it comes to the details, they are not very strict with details. Because for you guys, they just want you to know how to record. But in normal
Yes,
accounting, you know that whatever you write here, they take it seriously. Like we call them contra
yes,
accounts. But for you, if you can just say, let's say sheriff or something like that, it doesn't matter. So
yes.
that's why, but for us, the reason why we put details is because when I record something here, if I record details, it will show me where to go next. That helps a lot.
The contract month. No, I understand what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah. Mm. So, yeah. So, what do you think will be
Okay,
the first account here?
okay. So we need to have the trust cash book or the trust bank account.
Okay. And then what else do we expect?
Then we need, okay, so this is where my confusion comes in a little bit. So I know that we
Yeah.
are not the correspondent here, we're the instructing attorney. So we have a correspondent that's doing work for us. So I'm not sure if we need to open up a correspondent trust,
Okay.
because I
Let's
think
talk
that,
about this.
okay,
Mm. So, remember, under correspondence, what we need to bear in mind, the business is between the two attorneys. So you
yes,
must always make sure that you take the other attorney as the client for time being. Are you with me?
the attorney
And
that's
then
doing work for
can you
us.
see? Yeah, remember it doesn't. Okay, if we've got instructing, whether we're under instructing attorney or we're under correspondence, the business is still between the correspondent and the instructing attorney. So we must still show the same as when we are under correspondent, because obviously we need to have information about the client, and the client is represented by the correspondent. Yes, you're going to write
Yes,
the correspondent trust here. Are you with me?
okay, yes,
Yeah, because that represents client's money. But because now it is still between the two attorneys, we take the other attorney as a client. Are you with me?
yes, yes,
And the other confusing part is that these two attorneys, they call each other correspondents. Don't be confused, because
yes,
sometimes when they give you the questions, you can find like they talk about the correspondent. Now all of a sudden they talk about being instructed. You are confused. Just know that the instructing calls the other party the correspondent, and the correspondent on the other side calls the other party the correspondent. Can you see now? So we
yes,
need to make sure you're not confused when it comes to that.
okay.
Yes. So you are correct. Yes, the other account is going to be correspondent.
Correspondent trust.
Correspondent trust. Can we see now?
Yes.
Um, And then what else do you expect
So the next
from
thing
there?
I
Just follow.
think, sorry,
Mhm.
the
No, it's okay. You
client
can say
trust.
something. Yes. Can you see now? Now I like the fact that you mentioned that. The reason why, you remember, under the correspondent, we don't have to show the client. But here, because we are under instructing attorney, it means the instructing attorney at the end of the day must account to the main client. That's why we must bring that client here. You are correct. Can you see now? That's the difference between the correspondent. So now I'm going to have the client's name here. But at the moment, remember, we still have to go through the information. So we can, I think they will give us the client's name. So we can put the client's name here. Are you with me?
Yes. So Vyasta, am I
So,
correct in saying that we have to account? Okay. So am I correct in saying that the attorney that's doing work for us, the instructed attorney, has to account to us, and then we, as the instructing attorney, have to account to our client?
perfect.
Okay.
Remember, as an instructing attorney, we can only account to the client after the correspondent has completed his work. So this means the correspondent completed his work. Now he gave us the results. So now we must have our own books so that we can be able to show how much will be the exact amount that is going to be paid to this client of ours.
Yes.
And the fact that we are writing correspondent again, trust, is because this will show us when we transfer money from the correspondent to the real client. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
So that the correspondent is just acting as a middleman for now. So that's why I still have to show the correspondent, because in accounting, we don't just transfer. What do? We must show all the processes. I can't just go directly from the trust cash book to the client. No, I must show that that money comes from the correspondent and it's now time for us to go and transfer to the real client.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
No problem. So, okay, for now, this account are okay, but I want us to go to the information just to check who is who so that we can understand how to put those accounts. Are you with me?
Okay, no problem. Yes.
Okay. They say you are required to record the following entries in the books, in your books of prime entry, and post these entries to the respective ledger accounts. So what we are dealing with the ledger accounts. At the same time, can you see now they are talking about the prime
Yes.
entry? The prime entry will be the cash book, but this cash book at the same time acts as a ledger.
Yes. Like a general
Yes, so
ledger.
that's true. So this is what we are going to do. Can you see now? So they say you received a payment in the amount of 170 from your instructed. Can you see now? You instructed this attorney. So we instructed what? BDB.
What?
So is then that I
Okay.
can go to that. Can you see where I wrote trust here? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just write
BDB.
BDB attorneys. Even if we didn't know the name, but at least here we know that we are dealing with attorney. Can you see now? BDB attorney. Are you okay so far?
Yes.
No problem. Now we know our correspondent name, okay? Together with the accounting statement in collection of the matter on behalf of your client. Our real client here is D. Kumalo. Can you see now? We need to be careful because this one is the person from whom we went to collect, Barclay. So Barclay is where we collected the money from. But the client who was represented, or the real client to the instructing attorney, is D. Kumalo. Is then that I can go there and now have D. Kumalo. Are you with me?
So D Kumalo is our client, and then we're collecting money from D Bhakti.
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Yes, that's true. Yes. Can you see now? Again, can you see I wrote D. Kumalo Trust? I think by now you know if I put trust, it means this money belongs to the client. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes, I'm with you.
Yes. So, yes, so far I want you to note the distinction between the correspondent and the instructing attorney. Under correspondent, we don't have D. Kumalo, as you can see. We only
Yes.
have then D Kumalo under instructing attorney. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
No problem. Now, the next thing that we need to do here, obviously, these are the accounts that I need under my trust books. I usually write trust books on top, but because, you know, you and I think we understand, that's why I didn't write the heading. But I usually write trust books to show that I was under trust. And thereafter, I write business books to show that I'm going to put under business. Is it still okay if I can continue without writing those headings?
It's not a problem, you can continue.
I can continue. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to deal with the business. Remember, when we talk about the business, you know by now, business, it means this will be our own business that we are running. It's where we are going to account for our own money. Okay?
Yes.
If I may ask, what is the first account that you think? Usually, if you forget, you just have to compare with what you did here and do the opposite of what you did here. So what must I write here? That's the first
business
one.
cash book.
The business cash book. Okay. What do you expect next?
Then we need to do correspondent business.
Perfect. We know the correspondent our correspondent's name. Remember?
The correspondent business is BDB Attorneys.
Name is BDB Attorneys. Yes. Perfect. And then what else do you think you expect?
Before we continue, am I correct in saying that the BDB Attorneys business account is where we record where we owe them money? Or is it where they owe us money?
It's where we record our is where they owe us money. It's where we record our fees, which we're going to
Our
get.
fees, okay.
I can call this, yeah, our fees. Yeah, I can call this a billing account, invoicing account. When I invoice, it means I performed my services. So, in a nutshell, I can call these, to make it easy, I can call it, these are my clients. Let me call it what? I don't know if this term will make sense.
Debtor. Yes.
Debtors.
Yes. Makes sense.
Yes. It means debtors. It means they owe you. It's your asset. But you can only owe me if I perform the services.
Yes, that's true.
Can you see now?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. And then this one, I can call it, né? This one, just for the sake of understanding, this one, I can call it the opposite. Yes. Even this one. It means this money does not belong to me. I owe someone. Can you see now? Even this one is a creditor. Yes. Because we owe someone that money, and then unlike sorry, I wrote creators. Yes, unlike the other one where we are being owed, this one we are being owed. Okay, no problem. What do you think is next?
Fees.
Fees, perfect.
And that.
And then yes, I'm telling you, I'm happy. And that. I'm telling you, if you expect the account, they will just give you the structure. They will give you the structure. I'm telling you. So let's just write SARS. I just want to ask you a question. If you look at all the accounts, what is the difference between the correspondent accounts and the instructing attorney? So what makes them the difference? Because there's a difference here. If we were under correspondent, what will be the difference?
if the difference here is that we, as a business, as the instructing attorney, we owing two people money. We owing the client money and we're owing the instructed attorney money as well.
That's true. Remember, yeah. Let's call it. We owe the correspondent because we are in the instructing attorney. These books, we are owing the correspondent and we are owing the main client.
Yes.
I don't know if you understand what I mean. Yes, but yeah, that's the difference. So this is what you. Okay, now.
I think I have an idea of what you mean, but I'm sure once we do the example, it'll become clearer.
Let's just take it one step further so that we can have questions.
Okay.
And I'll try to give you, there are no specific steps, but I'm going to try to summarize something for you so that you can follow as steps. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. Because the thing is, Sylvester, they gave us steps in our notes, but I get very confused when I look at that. I won't lie to you. I get very confused.
Okay. Let's see. And then at the end of the day, I don't want you to remember the steps. I want them to come like, natural to you.
I understand.
Even though you are following step up, but I just want you to know what to do. Okay. Firstly, we are going to deal with the money actually received. The first thing, we deal with the money actually received.
Okay, so first thing is money actually received.
Yeah. They gave you the statement because it will be easy for you to know how much is actually received. Because there's a difference between actually received and actually collected. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So you need to be careful.
Yes.
Yes. But as we read, as we go, we proceed, we're going to understand.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
No problem. Now we start. 2.1.
Yes.
EFT means one thing. It means I received. You agree with me? Cash.
Yes.
There's no way that you can receive EFT and say I didn't receive cash. No, EFT is cash. Are you with me?
Yes.
For how much? For 17,061 from your instructed correspondent. So you are seeing these. In other words, you have been given a statement and you see an EFT of 7061 because you were there collecting money on behalf of that client. So this satisfies our first step. This is the money actually received, which is 17061. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
So it means now you apply the rules of client's money. This is client's money. When you receive client's money, you know which account we normally go. Tell me, where do you think I need to go?
We need to go to the trust cash book.
With this money?
Yes, we need
Obviously,
to receive
under which side?
We receive money on the debit side.
And then what must be the details or the contra?
The details
between who is our client for now?
Our client for now is BDB attorneys because they receive the money for us.
I agree with you. I'm going to write correspondent trust. But I'm going to write what? I can just write BDB because we understand it's BDB attorneys, okay?
Yes.
In brackets, we can just write what? EFT. We just do that. Remember, even if you write EFT received, they won't penalize you, but you and I will always put that EFT so that we can have figures which we can be able to identify the transactions. And the
Yes.
amount is 17,061. That's the first step.
Yes. And then we have to go to the credit side now of the correspondent trust account. Wait,
Yes.
no. Am I correct in saying that? Oh, okay. No, I think I know what to do. Yes, we go to the credit side of the correspondent trust, and the detail would be trust cash
Yes.
book for the same
Yes.
amount of money.
Perfect. Or you can write money actually received, it doesn't matter. And then we put 17,061. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, that's the first step. We always deal with the money that has been actually received.
Sylvester,
Yes.
am I correct in saying that we now have to transfer this money to the client, or do we do that right at the end?
No, we must wait until we have all the figures. For now, we don't
Oh, okay. Okay.
transfer anything. It's thereafter.
Okay.
Yes. Otherwise,
Sorry,
end up
Sylvester, the
transferring the
line.
wrong amount because this amount that I'm 17. Maybe I'm gonna.
Sylvester?
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Just cutting off before. I didn't hear you. You spoke about the money. You said that this is the money actually received.
Yes. From the correspondent. Are you okay?
Yes.
Yes. Because it's client's money, we apply the same principles of receiving money from the clients.
So we apply the
Are you
same
with me?
principle, but we don't. Yes, I'm with you. But we don't transfer until right at the end, until we transfer everything that's due to the client.
That's true. For now, we ignore the client. We're gonna account the client thereafter to the client thereafter.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I understand.
Now, the second step is where we are going to deal with the amount collected from the client,
Okay.
from the other client, the other person, and then at the same time we're going to record the fees or the expenses which have been incurred by what? By the correspondent. So we can put it as one step so that we cannot confuse. Or let's put it as one step. Let's deal with the amount collected from the client. Yeah, let's separate them. I don't want to mix them.
Okay.
Now we
So the
deal with, you
amount.
can write it down. Let's deal with collected from the client.
Yes. Okay. I've got that written down.
Yes. No problem. Now, the amount that we collected, remember that is not the cash that we actually received. So in other words, the correspondent went to collect, and then the correspondent managed to collect that amount of money. Okay. So let's go
Okay.
and check. Can you see 2.2? Where they say on
Yes.
the account statement, your correspondent recorded a payment received. Can you see now?
Yes.
So this is what they collected.
Yes.
So meaning they collected how much? 21,500. So meaning if let's
Yes.
say we didn't have any other agreement with them, this was supposed to be the money actually received. But remember, you can't just collect and give all the money. There's an agreement in between, the fees involved and things like that. It's like when you
Yes.
send me to Pretoria and say, go and collect 5,000 for me, please deduct transport cost and have money for lunch. So I'm not going to give you the whole 1,000 rand that I collected. I'm going to minus
Yes.
something. That's why we received less from the first one. So this 17,000 comes from this 21,500. But we need to show the process and say we actually collected 21,500. So we need to
Oh,
show this in the
okay.
books of
So
account.
it's the same amount. So this is linked. It's okay.
Can you see?
Yes, I understand. So this is the same amount of money, but the second one is what was
Yes.
actually collected.
Yes. Doesn't make sense.
Yes.
No problem. So remember, I said usually I normally record this. I talk about the account, the amount collected, and the fees at the same time so that it can make sense. Are you with me?
No, I understand. I understand.
Okay. Immediately, because I want to talk about this step number
Yes.
2 and number 3 because they affect each other. So just write step number 3 so that I can explain
Okay.
everything at the same time there.
No
So
problem.
here we deal with the fees. Yeah. Let's say we deal with the expenses incurred by the correspondent.
So the expenses incurred by the correspondent.
Yes.
So step 2 and 3 go together.
I don't want to say they go together, but I want to, when I explain number 2 at the same time, I'll be touching on number 3. But for now, let's focus on number 2.
Okay, no problem.
Because no problem. Now, firstly, let's deal with 2.2. We collected how much? 21,500. Can you see this amount?
Yes.
Agree with me or disagree? Do you agree with me if I say
Ye-
this 21,500 belongs to the client, the real client?
Yes, I agree with you.
Because if we didn't have attorneys, this guy was supposed to go and claim 21,500. So in a nutshell, we're just performing on behalf of the client, and then in the process, we are being compensated for our services. So it means this amount must be shown in the books of what? Of the real client. But it must come
Yes.
from somewhere. Are you with me?
Yes.
So obviously, this amount will come from the correspondent because the correspondent is the one who collected the money. So meaning this money is
Yes.
sitting with the correspondent. So remember, this account decrease on the credit and increase on the credit. You agree with me?
It decreases on the credit.
On the debit.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
Okay, it
let me write
decreases
down.
on the debit side
Yes, and it
and it
increases on the
increases on
credit
the
side.
credit
Ne?
side.
So
Yes.
yes, so it means if I can let me just write this. If I record on the credit side, it means I'm increasing the amount that is in the correspondent trust. But now remember, I want to take money from this account and I take it to the real client now. Obviously, I need to come to the debit side to show that I'm taking money from the trust here. Does that make sense?
Can you please explain that one more time, please?
Okay. The money that you see here on the credit side is the money that obviously belongs to the real client, or because the correspondent was collecting money on the behalf of the client. So it means, remember, this money is just sitting in this account for time being. Like I said at the beginning, this money belongs to Kumalo. You agree with me? I say the money belongs to
Yes,
Kumalo.
I agree with you.
But you must ask yourself, before we transfer to Kumalo, where is this money sitting in? This money is sitting in what? In the
Of course.
correspondent trust.
Yes.
and again is sitting in the trust bank. Remember, they go together, these ones.
Yes.
So now I want to take that money, even though it's not real cash yet. I'm just showing between the account. I'm taking the money from the correspondent trust to Kumalo now. So I'm gonna come here and let me write it down. Maybe it will make sense. I'm gonna come here and say G Kumalo. Can you see now? Trust.
Yes.
And then I can just say amount collected. And then I'm gonna write 21,500. So this means I'm taking the money that has been collected before from the correspondent and I'm taking it to the real client. Can you see? I'm starting to involve the new client now with the amount collected. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to pay him 21,500. No. I'm just showing the process.
Okay.
This money was collected by the correspondent. It is sitting under correspondent. But this money now, I'm taking it from the correspondent because it belongs to what? It belongs to Mr. Kumalo. So I'm going to write.
You're going to write correspondent business.
Trust.
Oh, sorry. Correspondent trust.
No problem. BDB. And I can just
yes,
write,
BDB.
Amount collected, just for information. Can you see it shows that now this money belongs to the client? That's why it came to the credit side. Can you see now I'm starting to involve the real client? So it's just a transfer from this account to this account. So I want you to check this thing.
Okay, so from what I understand, like with what you're saying here, the money was collected by the correspondent and that money is sitting in the correspondent's trust account. We have to now transfer that to the trust account of the client and we are reflecting the full amount, even though the client is not getting that full amount, just for our record purposes. Okay.
Yes, just for the process. Because at the end, you will see the client is going to get less.
Yes, I understand.
You understand that? So I want you to know how to treat amount actually received and the amount collected. I want you to know how to deal with them. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Slowly but surely, we're going to get there, okay?
Okay.
Now, okay, can we look at step number 3?
Yes, we can.
Now, for step number 3, I want us to look at 2.3. Can you see for on 2.3 here?
Yes.
2.3, they say you are instructed correspondent also recorded a total amount of 5,405 in respect of the fees levied and the disbursements. Now, let's visualize this. If this is what the correspondent has charged as a fee, and at the same time, the correspondent incurred the disbursements. Now, it means if we were in the books of the correspondent, these fees were supposed to be the fees of the correspondent. Are you with me?
Yes.
But because we're not under correspondent, if they're the fees of the correspondent, it means there will be an expense in the books of the instructing attorney. Because who's responsible for paying the correspondent those fees?
We are.
As the instructing, remember we're representing the client. In other words, we as the instructing attorney need to absorb this cost. So these fees for the correspondents are the expenses in our case. Okay? So it means the client's money that we received must be reduced by these costs. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, I understand.
How much did we collect?
We collected 21,500. Yeah. So we need to deduct the fees and the VAT and the disbursements from that amount that we collected for the client.
I like that. I like that. So it means we need to go and affect that amount collected in the client's account. And we must also make sure that we take these and ensure that they belong to the correspondent.
Okay.
Yes. Does that make sense? But I'm going to show you. Don't worry. I just want us to discuss this first. Because sometimes,
No
if you're
problem.
not careful, you will end up saying these are the fees. You know, you and I know how to do the fees, and you end up recording
Yes.
this in the fees. No. These are not the fees. These are the fees of the other party, which is the correspondent. So to us, they are expenses or costs.
Expenses to us. Okay.
Yes. That is step number 3, né?
Yes.
So meaning we need to go and compensate the correspondent. So what we need to do is better for us to affect the real client first. Obviously, if you check this same principle, decrease on the debit and they increase on the credit. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. So we need to affect the client's account first.
Yes, and like we're gonna take that money from the client's account in a way. We're taking it out. Obviously, under which side must I come and take it out here?
We're taking money out on the debit side.
Yes, I'm gonna come here. And then obviously this compensated the correspondent trust. So I'm gonna take this correspondent trust. And then I'm gonna say BDB. Because this fees belongs to the BDB, by the way.
Yes, it does. It
They belong to
belongs
the
to them.
BDB, yes. Yeah, what can I do? I can call them, I'm trying to find a term that I can use here. I can say cost incurred. Is it okay if I say cost incurred?
Yes, that's perfect.
Yes, cost incurred. And then obviously luckily they gave us the total of everything here. Can you see the total is how much? We can even double
Yes,
check. You can double check if it's the same thing there. I think it's the same thing.
it is the
545 if
same
we
thing.
add everything. Yes, I'm gonna
It
come
is the
here
same thing.
and write 5405. Let me pause a bit. Can you see if you look at this account went down like this. If I can say balance this account now, the balance won't be 21,500 anymore. It's going to be less because the cost incurred had to be deducted from that.
Yes.
And they must be given to someone who incurred them. They must be given to the BDB what? So the BDB's
BDB.
account must increase.
Yes.
Under which side?
BDB's account must increase on the credit side because it's money going into their account now.
Perfect. I like that. And then obviously we got it from
D. Kamalo's trust.
can just say cost incurred.
Yes.
Perfecto. That's why I wanted to talk about the fees and this amount collected at the same
Yes.
time so that you can see how are they related.
No, it definitely makes sense. It does make sense.
It does make sense. Ne? Any question?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
actually understanding it. Thank you
Now,
so much.
that's good. That's good. That's good. Now, I want us to go to step number 4.
Okay.
On step number 4, I want us to say, let's deal with the fees. The fees. We deal with the
Fees.
Fees. And I'm going to explain that after. Yes. Now we deal with the fees. Remember, fees will be something favorable to us. Remember, we're talking about the fees that belongs to us as the instructing attorney. Okay? And
Yes.
honestly speaking, the fees that we're talking about is the fees which we have been given by what? By the correspondent. Remember, usually we agree with the correspondent. Sometimes we call them allowances. Are you with me?
Yes.
Sometimes it's 1/3, sometimes it's a certain percentage, but it depends. So when we talk about the fees of the instructing attorney, usually it will be the allowance which we got from the correspondent.
Yes.
Because 2.3, these fees belong to the correspondent. That's how we took them as our cost. But if you can look at 2.4, they say the instructed attorney, an instructed correspondent gave you an allowance. So this allowance is the fee that I'm talking about.
Okay.
On their fees, that was
Okay.
126. In terms of the agreement entered into between us.
Okay, so they didn't give it to us as a percentage. It's given to us as an amount. So does that mean that we need to work out the percentage?
No, you don't have to. If they're asking you how much was the percentage, you can do that. Let's try. Say 840. Okay, just say 2520 for me. At the 2520. No, not
Yes.
2520. Just say 840. 840 first, sorry. 840
Okay.
divided by 2520
2520. Okay, I've
times
got
100.
1/3. Oh, times 100.
1/3. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Yes. That's 1/3.
Yeah.
Is 1/3. Can you see now? So that is the 1/3 that comes from the correspondent. Remember, sometimes it can be 20%, Sometimes
Yes.
it can be based on agreement. Okay.
Okay.
So now we need to make sure that we go and record the fees the way we know how to record the fees.
Yes. Okay. So we're recording our fees. So we're going to
Yes.
be working with the BDB attorney's business and the fees and VAT accounts.
Yes. I'm going to come here. And which side?
I'm trying to think now. I think it's the credit side.
Of which account?
The credit side of
Which
the
account?
BDB attorney's business account.
Now, remember, this is a data. When we bill on the debit side. Remember?
Yes.
Yes, we come here and we bill the fees. And then because we are VAT vendors, remember how do we bill the fees? We write?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm confusing it with the other transaction with the instructed attorney. Okay, so we're on the credit side for the correspondent business account, and then we're on the debit side, and then on the credit
So,
side for the fees and that.
yeah, okay. You said something before you go further. Let me correct you. You said something. You are confusing this with the correspondent. Ne? No. The procedure is
Yeah.
the same. When you charge
Oh,
a
okay.
fee, whether it's correspondent or not, you will always come here. I think you are confusing. You are thinking of this account. You are thinking of the fees. I'm not thinking about the fees now. I'm talking about the amount.
Okay.
Exercises. When we charge the fee, it doesn't matter whether it's under correspondent. It doesn't matter whether it's under conveyancing. We always come to the business and we come here, if I write it down, you're going to remember. We normally write fee and VAT. Don't you remember this?
Yes, I remember now.
Yes. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. The fees are charged the same. And then the fee and VAT here, remember they give us the amount of fee without VAT. We're going to put them in brackets and add them together.
So it's 840 the amount.
Are you with me?
Then I'm going to work out the VAT amount now. Okay, so it's 840 times 1.15. The answer is 960.
No, but they gave us the VAT. Maybe it's the same one that you got. It's okay. The VAT was how much? Let me go back. They gave us the VAT here.
120. Oh.
Maybe it can be right. You said you got how much?
I've got
Is it the same amount
966
that you got?
No. Let me see. 966 minus 840. No, it's not the same.
But let's just take what they gave us because they said the VAT is 126. Okay. We take what they gave us, ne?
Yes, they take what.
I'm gonna put 126. Yes. How much? It's 966, ne?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the fee and VAT. So remember, we always bill. In other words, we are owed by what? We are owed how much? 966, even though we know that 126 does not belong to us. 126 belongs to SARS, ne?
Yes.
Yes. So that's why we have got fees to show only the amount that belongs to us. We've got VAT to show the VAT that belongs to SARS.
Okay, then now we have to split that up into the fees. Yes, I'm good, thank you. Now we have to split that up into the fees account and the SARS account.
That's
so it'll be on the credit side.
And then we come over, so we go to the opposite side.
Yeah.
Yes.
The detail will be
from
correspondent business.
How much?
The amount will be 840.
Perfect. And the same applies to?
The VAT account will also be on the credit side.
Yes. Let's pause so that we can reflect and check the correlation here or the relationship between these three accounts. I want you to remember these three accounts. Remember, it doesn't matter whether you are dealing with the correspondent. It doesn't matter whether you are dealing with conveyancing. The way to charge the fees will always remain the same.
Okay.
Remember, under conveyancing, usually here you're going to have the purchaser business.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, I remember.
Because you are having a the seller under conveyancing. But under normal trust accounts, if let's say you are dealing with the normal trust accounts, let's say the instructing attorney did not look for correspondent and he was dealing directly with his own client. This was supposed to be. Are you still with me?
Sorry, Sylvester, I missed what you were saying. You said that it's if we're not dealing with the correspondent, we're just dealing with our own client.
Yes. Here we're supposed to write Kumalo business.
Yes.
Can you see now?
Yes, I can.
And this fee was supposed to be charged this fee would be charged to Skumalo. You understand what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
The way to charge fees is always the same. It's always the same. Don't be
Okay.
confused.
I understand what you're saying.
Yes. No problem. Okay. Now let's check. So far, so good.
Yes.
We have finished recording all the transactions. Now it's time for us to go and sort those accounts. Obviously, we know that after we have recorded everything, the next thing that we need to do is to look at our fees first, because we cannot pay the money to the client before we check our own fees. We are not running a charity organization here. So we need to check our fees. How much are our fees?
966.
So we need to make sure that we transfer what belongs to us. So this is what I'm gonna do. And this is what we're gonna do. Which side is the biggest? Obviously is this one.
Debit side.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna write it like this, 96. Now, this accounts. Before you make a transfer, you need to make sure that. Am I cutting?
Yes.
Sorry, man, my network is up and down. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay, no problem. So, okay, I'm saying under trusts accounts, you know that before you can transfer what belongs to you, you need to check the availability of money in the trust. Still remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Remember something called irregularities? If you transfer more than what you have in the trust, you're going to have a negative. That would create an irregularity, of which is not allowed.
Yes.
You are limited to how much is available in the trust. So we know that the transfer will take place between the correspondent business and the correspondent trust. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yes. So we need to check here. If you check here, is there any, if you check, is this account, what is the difference there? Which side is the biggest between this and that?
Which account?
Between this side, like if you check here, we've got 2,500 here, né?
I'll check now. 17.
This account, we have got 215 here.
The debit side is smaller.
How much is this
The credit
total
side is bigger. The total on the credit side is 22,466. So 22,466.
Okay, 22,466. Ne? Let's just do it at the same time so that I can write it down for the sake of simplicity. Ne?
Okay.
You said it's 26. Come again, 22?
22,466.
2266.
No, 466.
466. Ne? Now, I want you to 22,466.
Yes, that's correct.
Huh? Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to minus this 21,500.
Minus.
If you minus 21,500, how much do you get?
966.
Do we have enough to transfer this amount from that amount that you have?
Yes, we have exactly that amount.
Perfect. It's then that we can do the transfer. So every time before you do the transfer, you must do that thing. Doesn't matter whether it's correspondent or not. For any transfer, go and check the availability of money. Because let's say you found 500 on the other side, we were supposed to transfer 500 here. Are you with me?
Sorry, Sylvester, I missed what you said. You spoke last about transfer and how we need to check the balance, and it doesn't matter which account it is. We just need to make sure we have enough to transfer. That's the last part I heard.
Let's say after your calculation there, you got 500. Ne? We were supposed to
Sorry,
transfer only 500 here. Are you with me?
Sylvester, I missed completely.
Can you hear
It
me?
cut off there. I can hear you now.
But now can you hear me? Okay. I was
I
saying,
can hear you now.
I hope you can
Yes.
still hear me. If
Yes, I
let's
can.
say after your calculation there, you got 500 on your calculator. Ne? Let's say you got 500.
Yes.
The transfer was supposed to be limited to that 500. I was supposed to transfer 500 here,
Yes.
is what I meant. But because we have got
Yes.
966, it means we can transfer the whole amount. I hope you
Yes.
understand me.
I understand.
Yes. So now we transfer. Remember, the transfer always take place under the business and trust. You're gonna say correspondent, trust, and BDB transfer.
Yes.
Six. Talk to me. If you still need clarity, let me know.
I understand.
Okay. And then we must transfer this to which account?
To the correspondent trust? No, to our business cash book.
Under which side?
Onto the debit.
Well, you are correct with the first one first.
Oh.
Yeah, you're correct. We must come here and say correspondent business, ne?
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
I'm happy. I'm happy. So make sure that you remember.
Sylvester?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay, no problem. Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So what is the next step, if I may ask?
Now we need to transfer the money to our account. From
Okay.
trust, we have to go to
Meaning I
our
must go
business
up
cash
there.
book.
In
Oh,
okay.
no.
Which side?
I was... Okay, so we go to the trust cash
You're
book now. We're going to
no,
the...
it doesn't take the money out. Okay.
Sorry, Sylvester, you cut off there again.
So you say I must come to the trust cash book, ne?
Yes, we need to take the money from the correspondent trust account to the trust cash book, and then we need to transfer to our business account.
I like that.
Okay. We're going to the credit side of the trust cash book.
Yes. And then where do we go from here?
Now we go to the business cash book. We're going to the debit side. No, we're going to the credit side because
Perfect.
money's coming in.
No, on the debit side, you're correct. On the debit side, ne?
Okay.
Mhm. Perfect. Please look at them and let's clarify them wherever it's not clear.
Can we just go through the steps for the transfer one more time, please?
No problem. The transfer, firstly, we look at the business because it's where we have fees. Ne? Are you still with me?
Yeah. Yes, I'm still with you.
And then we check that okay, it was possible for us to make a transfer of 966. So we are transferring this amount. In other words, this belongs to us, so we will need to transfer by taking money from what? From the correspondent trusts. Are you with me?
Yes.
So that's why we say correspondent trust, because the transfer takes place between the business and the trust. Are you with me?
Yes.
So that's why we said correspondent trust, and we take it to the correspondent trust, and it shows under correspondent trust. Can you see I came to the debit side? It shows that I
Yes.
took this money from the trust. And the reason why I come here is because I take money out of this because I need to be paid from the trust money. So I take it out of the money that was collected. Are you with me?
Yes.
So the correspondent is responsible for this. That's why I came to the debit side. Because if I cannot put it on the debit side, it means this money will belong to the correspondent. So I have to reduce what I'm going to pay him or her.
Yes.
Are you good?
I'm
So
good, thank you.
the first step is between the business and the trust. And then the second step is between the two cash books. Are you with me?
Yes.
We take it out from there. As you can see, we took it out from the trust bank or trust cash book, and we took it to our own business. So the trust bank account went down and the trust cash book went up. Can you see now? This is
Yes.
our money. That's why we're increasing our own bank account.
Okay. I
Are we
understand what
good?
you're saying. Yes, I'm good, thank you.
Yes. Like I said, it doesn't matter which books are you dealing with, the process will remain the same. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
No problem. Now, if you are ready, let's balance this account.
Okay, we can balance the account.
What is the total here? So we know the
It's
total for
the
this
same as
one is
balance
2246.
500
Okay,
plus
22466.
966. Yeah, it balances out. It's 22466.
Perfect. Okay, and then now we look at this one, our real client. Can you see now we're accounting to the client now? So I'm gonna check how much are we going to pay our client now. The biggest
The biggest side is the credit side. Difference
yes.
is The difference, Sylvester, is
To find the difference?
16095.
Yeah. This is what is going to be paid to the client at last. So we're going to pay it out of the trust bank account, trust cashbook. This is the settlement that we are going to give to our client.
Okay.
Yes. Come again, you said?
No. Sorry, do you want the amount? The
Yeah, the
amount
amount.
is
16 something? You said
16095.
16?
16095.
95.
Yes.
Yes, this is the amount that is going to be paid to Kumalo, and then it must be paid from the trust cash book, meaning we're going to transfer this and we're going to take this money from the trust cash book. Are you okay?
Yes.
Under which side must I record in the trust cash book?
The trust cash book will be the credit side.
What will be the contra?
The contra account would be D Kumalo Trust.
Yes.
And then we'll say settlement as well.
Yes. And we put 16095.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Are we done transferring the money to his account? Oh.
Okay. Now, okay. Yes, we're done. We can balance the bank account and check this one.
Okay, so the credit, it balances both sides of the equal.
Come again?
It balances both sides are equal, so both sides are 17061.
17061.
Yes.
Perfect. You see? So this one is balanced. This one is balanced. This one is balanced. And this one, if they ask you to balance the other one, it's just going to be the normal process for this one. Because sometimes they insist. So you must just know how to balance them. Just for marks. Obviously, the biggest side will be that one.
The debit side.
Yes. And then we just come here. The difference will be called balance. Carried down if they ask for that. And obviously, the difference will be 966.
966.
Okay.
Then the next account is balance.
And then remember, you must bring it down. You must bring it down. Balance. Brought down. 966. That's how to balance the account, okay? Especially this one.
Yes. Well, we need to balance fees and VAT.
Yes, VAT, especially fees, usually they leave it like that. But if you balance it, you must take it to profit and loss. Ne? So let's VAT, obviously, the same way. We must do this. Because SARS, we need to know how much do we owe SARS or how much does SARS owe us, okay?
Okay.
Because if they just say balance, you must balance everything. You must balance everything just for
Okay.
marks. Yes, 1 to 6. It means if the balance is on the credit side, it means we owe SARS, okay?
Yes.
But if the balance is on the debit side, it means SARS owes us, okay?
Yes.
Yes, so meaning we owe SARS 126. Mm-hmm.
So because it's on the credit side, we owe SARS 126.
This one, yeah, sometimes they can ask you a question and say, tell us whether we owe SARS or not. So on the credit side, remember this side is usually called input side.
Yes.
It means it's the VAT that you can go and claim from SARS, and this side is called output, meaning output is the VAT that you owe SARS.
Charge.
Yeah, so if the difference is here, it means we owe SARS output. If the difference is here, it means SARS owe us. SARS owes us how much? The amount, and we call it what? Input.
Okay.
Okay. This one here, we can say 840. The biggest side is the 840. 840. But usually because this is an income to the business. This is an income to the business. So we usually take it to profit and loss. Ne? But sometimes when you say balance brought down, they don't penalize you, but you'll never know. You'll never know. But the right approach is to say profit and loss. Just hold for a second. Ne? I just want to talk to someone quickly.
No problem.
A second. Hello. I'm back. I'm with it. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?